Votes are being tallied. The results are coming in. Good evening. I'm Dave Morris with NewsOK.com with Election 2010 coverage powered by the Oklahoman. We will have video updates throughout the evening as election results continue to come in. And of course, we have crews at both the Democratic and Republican watch parties and analysis from the editor of the Oklahoman, Ed Kelly. Let's take a look at some of the results. And the top headline, of course, in the governor's race, Mary Fallin has won. The Republican has defeated Democrat Jerry Askins and will be the first female governor of the state. In other races, Lieutenant Governor. In the Lieutenant Governor's race, Republican Todd Lamb with a big lead. In the 5th District, James Lankford is in the lead. In the 2nd District, Dan Boren currently in the lead. In the Senate, Tom Coburn headed back to Washington with an easy win. In other races, State Representative District 84, Sally Kern with a sizable lead. And in state questions, there were 11 of those on the ballot. State question 744 has failed. And joining me now with some analysis is Ed Kelly, editor of the Oklahoman. And again, Ed, thanks for your time tonight. We appreciate that. Mary Fallin has won the race to become Oklahoma's first female governor. And what does this mean for the state?
Well, Dave, I think it means a lot. It means that we have a Republican governor who, for the first time in Oklahoma history, will have Republican majorities in both the state House and the state Senate. We haven't had many Republican governors. The first one was elected in 1962 with the late Henry Bellman. Mary Fallin, obviously the first woman and the first female Republican governor in Oklahoma. But none of the other Republicans before her have ever had a chance to work with a legislature that was in friendly ground. And certainly being able to work with Republicans almost exclusively will be a big deal for her. And if she has success in her first term as governor, it will be likely because of this big support that she's going to get at 23rd and Lincoln.
Brad Henry is our current governor. He has termed out after 2 years, after 2 terms as governor. What is his legacy?
Well, Dave, he came into office, as you may recall, in 2003 with a budget crisis. He'll leave office in January 2011 with a budget crisis. He came in 2003 with a complete Democrat majority in the House and Senate. He leaves in January 2011 with that reverse, with Republicans in charge of both the House and the Senate. But meantime, he governed from the middle. He governed as a conservative to moderate Democrat. He won his first race by only 6,800 votes in November of 2002, but he conducted a landslide 4 years later in 2006. He shows not only politicians in Oklahoma, but politicians around the country that a moderate to conservative Democrat can govern and govern successfully in what obviously is a red state.
And up next for Jerry Askins, we don't really know, but your thoughts, should she stay in the political arena?
I hope she does. I hope she stays in the political arena, Dave. She's a very smart woman. She's a great Oklahoman. She has experience as a judge, as a legislator, and certainly as lieutenant governor. Let's hope that she stays involved in what goes on in public life in Oklahoma. We're going to need her.
Absolutely. Election results are coming in tonight in election 2010 here in Oklahoma and across the country. On the ballot in several states are Tea Party candidates. This conservative group has gotten a lot of attention in the months leading up to the election with rallies and candidates like Christine O'Donnell in Delaware. And we should mention that she lost her bid for the Delaware Senate race in this election. And sir, what effect do you think the Tea Party candidates have had on this midterm election?
Well, let's say first that Christine O'Donnell in Delaware was a terrible candidate, and the good folks of the first state weren't about to send her to the Senate. But there's no doubt in my mind the Tea Party reignited the Republican Party this year, Dave. Republicans would have done pretty well in this election as the party out of power, but certainly the Tea Party provided a lot of fuel, and I'll tell you why. The Associated Press tonight did exit polling across the country. One of their findings is this: some 40% of voters consider themselves supporters of the Tea Party movement. And about 3 out of every 4 voters, or roughly 75%, express negative views about the federal government. These disaffected Americans had to cast their votes with some political party today, and there's no doubt in my mind they went overwhelmingly Republican.
Ed, healthcare reform was a hot topic during the 2008 presidential election and is still a heated subject today. How much has the recent healthcare reform played into the elections, both nationally and locally?
No doubt it was a factor, Dave. Healthcare certainly was a drag on Democrats, particularly those who were in House districts that were won by John McCain in the presidential race 2 years ago. Again, I want to go back to that exit polling done by the Associated Press. They're reporting tonight that more than 1 out of every 3 voters said today that their voting was an expression of opposition to President Obama. I think to many of these people, health care was certainly important today, but so were those congressional votes related to government spending, such as the bailout of Wall Street and the big car companies. In some ways, I think health care was the final straw.
Ed, Steve Lackmeyer has been blogging on News OK tonight, and it's been great coverage. He reports the Oklahoma State Election Board is indicating that Oklahoma turnout very high, over 50%. That's pretty impressive.
It is pretty impressive. It will match, if not exceed, 1994 and 2002, the last two times that we had an open race for the governor's office. It will certainly best what happened in 2006 when Governor Henry was running for re-election, and in 1998 when Frank Keating was running for re-election. So if Oklahomans turned out today by more than 50%, a tip of the hat to them. They had a chance to participate in an historic election.
Ed Kelly, editor of the Oklahoman, thank you for your time tonight,
Welcome.
sir. And more analysis from Ed tomorrow. He will debrief with Chris Castile and Mark Green from the Oklahoman's DC Bureau. We spoke with News OK's Angie Bruss earlier tonight from the Crown Plaza. That was the Democratic Watch Party in northwest part of Oklahoma City. She will file a report from the Republican Watch Party later tonight. And again, the results are in. Mary Fallin, the new governor or the next governor of Oklahoma. Many of the state questions have been declared, including State Question 744 being defeated. James Lakeford again control of the 5th Congressional District race. And the Oklahoman has more than 100 journalists hard at work throughout the day and tonight covering the election for you. You can find that coverage online at newsok.com, including live blogging from the Oklahoman Steve Lackmeyer and the latest election news, up-to-date election results, photo galleries, and video from the candidates' watch party. News OK also has the national races covered, as we provided analysis of that earlier from the Associated Press. It's statewide coverage of every race in Oklahoma right here on newsok.com, powered by the Oklahoman.